Hey everyone, this is Charles Matry from loungeboudoir.com, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between pinup and boudoir. The first one is wardrobe. So with pinup, you had a lot of shorts, sweaters, swimsuits, both one-piece and two-piece, skirts, dresses. You did have undergarments of the period. Fishnet stockings were very big, and also military uniforms. With boudoir, you have, of course, a lot of lingerie, bras and bottoms. You have stretchy tops. That's about it, really. Moving on to number 2 is tone and mood. So with pinup, it was a very positive, up type of feeling in the pinup shoots, in the pinup shots. It was very cutesy, flirtatious, playful, titillating, innocent, fun-loving. The tone and mood in boudoir is, of course, very sexual, sensual, provocative, enticing, seductive. A third difference is photographic style. Now, this is a big one. So with pinup, you didn't have that cinematic, shallow depth of field look. Pretty much everything was in focus from head to toe. And the subject, the model, was also photographed from head to toe. It wasn't like you had images of her in sections and things like that. With boudoir, you do use a lot more of that cinematic, shallow depth of field look, as well as, you know, everything being in focus. You kind of mix the two styles together there. And of course, you do have shots of women from head to toe in modern day boudoir, but a lot more images of, let's say, maybe they just feature the legs or a hand caressing the upper chest area or her lips or something like that. That was really never done in pinup. It was always the whole woman, head to toe, everything in focus. Also the lighting. The lighting in pinup was very bright. They shot in studios a lot of times. With boudoir, of course, you use natural light a lot of times. And if you do shoot in a studio using strobes or speed lights, there's a lot more moody shadows and highlights that are in play there. Also, a lot of pinup images, primarily from the 40s, which I'm talking about here, which was sort of the heyday of pinup, were illustrations. The girl was photographed in a studio, and then an illustrator would illustrate her and put her kind of in any setting that he felt was appropriate. The beach, inside the house, on the sidewalk, really anywhere. Now, before I forget, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more of these amazing videos, which I know you're just on the edge of your seat listening to here. Another difference between pinup and boudoir is the purpose. In pinup, it was, of course, during World War II, the pinup images were used to boost the morale of the troops. Along with freedom and the American way, the American soldier was fighting for sort of that girl next door that he could come home to. The purpose for modern day boudoir is for the female to give as a gift to herself or to her significant other, or as just artwork to hang on the wall of her house. Setting. This is number 5, if you're keeping score at home. Setting with pinup, like I said, it took place pretty much anywhere because half of them were hand-drawn illustrations. The other half took place in a studio. So you had locations like on the beach, of course in a photography studio, on a military base, everyday setting, walking down the street, on the wing of a plane, in nature. With boudoir, the setting is primarily in the bedroom. I like to keep it inside the house. You can use other parts of the house, the kitchen, a little nook or cranny, a hallway. Primarily, it's the bedroom. Once you go outside, it's kind of a different thing for me, but I won't get into that in this video. Let's see, moving on. Posing. Posing in pinup was pretty tame. If the female was in her undergarments, she was just sort of relaxing or sitting on a a little vanity seat or on a chair. It wasn't very explicit, let me put it that way. With boudoir posing, of course, can be very sexual, very sensual, and it can get explicit depending on who the photographer and or client is. If it gets too explicit, too suggestive, then it kind of starts being more erotica than boudoir. And there is a very fuzzy line between those two genres. Makeup and hair. So makeup and hair for pinup, you're gonna want to, it's gonna be the style of the 1940s. So if you're looking for an authentic pinup shoot from that era, you need to find a makeup and hairstylist that knows how to reproduce those hairstyles and also the makeup. Some of the characteristics of the makeup were matte red lipstick. Matte red lipstick everywhere in pinup. Almost 99% of the images I saw, the female had matte red lipstick. Also rouge, red rouge on the cheeks, very natural eyeshadow, dark mascara, brown or black. With boudoir, the makeup, usually the makeup artist has the eyes pop in sort of a smoky eye look, and that can be on a sliding scale from subtle to almost raccoon eyes, if you want to get into it. False eyelashes are very popular today. I've seen some crazy makeup done in boudoir, and then from there all the way to just to a natural look. Hair, of course, is kind of anything goes nowadays. There isn't really any one style. I mean, a lot of women get their hair colored, different colors. That's sort of a trend happening right now. They'll get their hair colored blue or pink or green, as well as just sort of a natural look. Level of nudity. With pinup, you had a lot of bare arms, bare legs, bare midriffs. With boudoir, you have a lot of the same thing, bare arms, bare legs, bare midriffs, because of the lingerie. And there's also implied nudity with boudoir. You can have the woman hold up a sheet in front of her where she has nothing on underneath, and you can kind of get a glimpse of the side of her body that clearly indicates she's not wearing anything behind the sheet. And the last big difference is storytelling. With pinup, there was a little bit of storytelling going on in these illustrated vignettes. You'd have a woman maybe wearing a long skirt. She's climbing over a fence, and oopsie daisy, her skirt gets caught on a fence post, revealing a glimpse of her undergarments. And sometimes there would be a male figure in the illustration as well who's oogling her, basically. He's seeing that wardrobe malfunction. There's a lot of these wardrobe malfunctions. There was one I saw, this woman was in front of an archery target collecting her arrows, and someone shot an arrow that held up her skirt. So all these crazy, whoopsie daisy, my undergarments are showing kind of vignettes. I don't really know if that's storytelling. With boudoir, you really don't have any storytelling. You might have a progression of I'm clothed here, and eventually I work my way down to lingerie, and then maybe implied nudity. That's not really a story, though. So there you have it. So I appreciate you watching. If you want to go into more detail about all these different differences between pinup and boudoir, check out loungeboudoir.com. And under style, I have an article there called 9 Big Differences Between Pinup and Boudoir. I'll also have a link in the description, loungeboudoir.com/pinup. You can click on, it'll take you right to the article. Appreciate you watching, and I will catch up with you in the future at some point in the YouTube universe.